At my age, you know I've been to a lot of doctors. Healthcare partners, they really care. They're concerned about your health. They're all the best. I am Roberta, and I am a healthcare partner. Visit hcpnv.com to hear my story.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by the St. Therese Mission, a future venue for cultural and environmental events near Pahrump. Get involved. Visit us at sttheresemission.com or call 702-507-4172.
Tonight on News 46, a horse rescue goes up in flames.
And the former town manager gets roasted.
Fire victims are back in their homes. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Jason Koblenz. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, July 15th, 2013. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Jason Koblenz for News 46.
Diane Davis, the owner of Dream Chaser Horse Rescue, allegedly burnt down her own home Friday night, killing 13 of her dogs that were inside the manufactured dwelling on Murphy Street. The home reportedly rekindled Saturday morning because of an excessive amount of personal property inside that hindered firefighting efforts. Nye County Sheriff's deputies and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were dispatched to a structure fire on Murphy and Galley Street on Friday night. According to deputies, upon arrival, they found fire through the roof of a home which was a manufactured dwelling owned by Diane Davis, the owner of Dream Chaser Horse Rescue. According to the reports, there was also a suicide threat that preceded the fire, as well as a gunshot. According to Fire Chief Scott Lewis, crews attempted to gain access to the home, but the doors were barricaded by an overabundance of personal property, which posed an unusual fire load for firefighters. Crews were able to extinguish the blaze, which also rekindled on Saturday morning. Fire Chief Scott Lewis says because of the excess personal property, that is the reason for the rekindle. Diane Davis lived on the property with her sister, who has had medical issues in the recent past. Her sister was the main funding for the Dream Chaser Horse Rescue. Diane Davis has contacted News 46 recently and told us that she was about to be foreclosed on. Reports are that Diane also had made recent suicide threats. According to Fire Chief Scott Lewis, there was a report or a mission of setting the fire intentionally. Diane Davis was transported for a medical evaluation. Lost in the fire were 13 dogs that died as a result of the structure fire. 2 cats and 2 dogs lived who were inside the home. Nye County Animal Control has taken those into custody, as well as 11 horses, which are being held in an undisclosed location under protective custody. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue is investigating the blaze. The Nye County Sheriff's Office may be pressing charges. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Friday was Pahrump Town Manager Bill Kobarger's last day at work. Sunday at Mountain Falls was a farewell party barbecue to roast the official as he and his family moved to North Las Vegas, where Kobarger has taken a new position as the Director of Human Resources for the city.
It went extremely well. A lot of people showed up, a lot of good roasting. I enjoyed it tremendously.
And a little poem written by Tom Waters and Rick Marshall at the beginning.
And I said it was amazing. See, town and county can get along to do something.
We're bidding adieu and best wishes to a man of spirit who's very fond of wine. We all like to socialize with a drop of wine or beer.
Now to us it's a pastime, but to Bill, it's a career.
James Oscarson, the Assemblyman, also had some words to tell you too.
He did a very good job, and at the end I just said one word to him: he's a politician.
And these are true words of wisdom from our town manager. Never under any circumstances take a laxative and a sleeping pill on the same night.
Tell me some of the highlights.
Oh, Selwyn Harris was very funny. He had some very good comments.
Bill, he's into working out. He takes fitness classes. He's into spinning. That's true, right, Bill? You spin. Which, folks, yeah, spinning. Which is basically a stationary bicycle. Okay. Leave it to Bill to engage in an activity where he exerts a lot of time and energy and doesn't move forward.
A lot of people, Tim Hafen made some good comments. Tim has a very funny, dry sense of humor, but funny.
I spent a lot of time thinking about what I could say about you, and I can't think of a damn thing.
It was just nice making some comments about moving this community forward and stop listening to those individuals who think they know everything, but basically are closed-minded people with open mouths. You know, we need to get rid of them. You just need to ignore them and move on with life, and this community will get better. I really need and wish that the individuals who work, who don't have time to get to board meetings, express their opinion through emails or tweets. Get your opinion across, send them to the town board meetings or to the town board members, and please have them read it on record. Let everybody know in this community there's more than 30 people that try and run this town or want to see this town go in a different direction, because without them, it will continue to take one step forward and 3 steps back. The good people need to get involved in their community and push this forward. We got some great projects going on, Kellogg Park, the fairgrounds, Spring Mountain's expanding, Mountain Falls is selling homes again, Golden Gaming's doing extremely well. We just need to get behind our businesses, support Tim, and support the town board. Ever since I decided to resign, I've had a lot of business people call me and said, we're going to miss you. You're really in the business man's corner. You did a really good job. I did a lot of good stuff for the veterans, and I got a nice plaque from them at the last town board meeting, which disabled American veterans, which I thought was awesome. I'm just ecstatic and happy that I had 5 years here.
And in a related story, taking over Bill Kohlbarger's position as town manager will be former Mesquite Mayor Susan Holchek. The Prumptown board picked Holchek from a pool of 6 applicants at its meeting on July 9th. Her target start date is July 24th. She currently works in community outreach programs at Mesa View Regional Hospital, but will be giving up that position to move to Pahrump. Before she was elected Mesquite Mayor, she had a career as a paralegal. The position has been approved as town manager for the interim period of 6 months, but can be extended.
And folks, how much do you spend on your pets? There are some staggering figures and some myths coming up after the break.
From wet noses to garlic to microchipping, we're fetching you some of the top dog health myths next in Prescription Health.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrum's optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
And welcome back to News 46. More than $55 billion. That's what industry experts expect Americans to spend on their pets in 2013. $14 billion of that will go towards vet care and pet prescriptions. While we want the best for our furry family members, believing tall tales could hurt them. Andrew McIntosh is helping us debunk dog health myths.
This health tip is brought to you by Humana.
Visit our local office in the Pahrump Valley Junction Shopping Center or call 775-727-0871.
How much is that dog in the window?
They make us happy, and it's our job to keep them healthy. But how can you tell if they really are?
I think a wet nose means they're healthy.
It's something we've all heard, but it's not true. A dry nose without any other symptoms might just be a sign that your house is too dry. Another myth: adding garlic to dogs' diets helps prevent fleas and ticks.
I believe it's possible, sure.
The truth is, garlic does little to prevent the pest, but chemicals in it can cause an increased heart rate, even anemia. Veterinary Dr. Brenda Stevens says use flea and tick meds to protect your pets. Make sure you apply topicals directly to the skin on the back of the neck.
If your dog does a lot of swimming and you're bathing your dog frequently, then a topical may not be most efficient for you, and so something oral might work a little bit better.
And beware of flea and tick meds with pyrethroids. they might cause.
A neurological sign or tremors up to seizures and even death.
A study found the chemical was responsible for at least 1,600 pet deaths over a 5-year period. As for pets' pearly whites, many believe dogs naturally brush their teeth, but they're wrong. Dr. Stevens says it's important to manually brush your dog's teeth at least a couple of times a week with pet toothpaste, not your own.
They seem to tolerate the side-to-side motion just a little bit better with that.
What about locating a missing pet?
I've had many dogs microchipped.
One manufacturer says 10,000 pets are reunited with their families every month because of microchips. But the internet is full of claims that they can also cause cancer in our animals.
Nothing's proven with that.
There have been no large-scale studies on the issue, but out of the millions of pets with microchips, only a small number of tumors have been reported. Helping bust health myths about man's best friend, I'm Andrew McIntosh reporting.
Thanks so much, Andrew. When it comes to bath time, Dr. Stevens says most dogs should only be bathed once every few months. Doing it more can dry out their natural oils in their fur and cause skin irritation. She says between baths, you should brush as much as possible to prevent odor and excess shedding. Brushing daily can also stop fleas and ticks before they become a problem. It takes about 24 hours to transmit disease to a dog.
Investigators are on the verge of solving the last of the Boston Strangler killings of the 1960s, thanks to new DNA tests and a sample secretly collected from a relative of longtime suspect Albert DeSalvo. DNA taken from a water bottle thrown away by one of DeSalvo's nephews is a familial match with genetic material preserved in the January 1964 killing of 19-year-old Mary Sullivan. DNA from DeSalvo's remains is needed to prove once and for all that the one-time handyman was Sullivan's killer, and perhaps to close other cases to which DeSalvo confessed. The Strangler killings terrorized Boston from mid-1962 to early 1964. DeSalvo confessed to 13 killings, including Sullivan's, but he was never charged. He was stabbed to death in 1973 while serving a life prison term for unrelated rapes.
Jennifer Moots gives us an update on the Carpenter 1 fire burning right now on the top of Mount Charleston.
The Carpenter 1 wildfire that began Monday, July 1st is now 70% contained and expanded to nearly 27,881 acres. There are 1,001 personnel currently working to control the fire. There has been an estimate that 27,240 acres burned were a part of the U.S. Forest Service. 639 acres were BLM, and 89 acres was private property. During this fire, 1 commercial building and 5 outbuildings were destroyed at Prospect Ranch on July 9th. Structure protection still remains in Harris and Prospect Ranches. Crews are also still patrolling the fire and securing hotspots. Only residents and business owners are allowed to return to Lee Canyon as of today, while residents and business owners will be allowed back in Kyle Canyon as of Wednesday, July 17th. James Bilbray Elementary and Hafen Elementary are currently designated as Red Cross reception centers. The facility at Hafen Elementary School closed at noon today because client needs have been met. The Bilbray Reception Center in Las Vegas will remain open from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. daily. Red Cross said if new needs arise, clients may call the Red Cross at 702-369-3927, 24 hours a day. According to Red Cross, 1,797 meals have been provided. 135 Red Cross responders have worked on the operation, and 103 residents have been assisted by Red Cross. This is Jennifer Moots reporting for News 46.
The U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds should resume training flights within a few days. Temporary funding for flying hours has been restored, allowing the U.S. Air Force Air Demonstration Squadron to resume flying again through the end of the fiscal year 2013. The grounding affected about 1/3 of the Air Force's active-duty combat aircraft, including squadrons of fighters, bombers, and airborne warning and control craft.
Well, that's some good news. Well, we have much more local news right after this break. Don't go anywhere.